This was from the Clarion Ledger, and yeah, I saw it on 1400 Club's Twitter page. Can Irv Mulligan be invited to the Heisman Trophy show? Can he be invited? This is one of those scenarios I like to do. Like so, what would it take to get Irv Mulligan invited? We're going to admit and say he won't win the Heisman, but get him invited to the Heisman Trophy show. What would it take? Well, one, to have a massive offensive line. Jackson has that. I said before and I'll say it again. On paper, Jackson State has more talent than any school in the FCS. Especially if you believe on the 24/7 sports thing where they do the rankings for signing days. Jackson is far ahead, number one. Now, number two, Jackson has the biggest brand when it comes to online presence of any HBCU. It's not even close. So you're going to have people spewing the greatness of Mr. Irv Mulligan. And the third thing they have, well, they have the ultimate ambassador for FCS football, especially at running back, late great Walter Payton. And what it would take for Mr. Mulligan to get into the room, just to get an invite to the Heisman Trophy celebration, would be to beat Walter Payton's records. Now, he's not going to beat his all-time record of 3,654 yards for career. Ain't going to happen. He's not going to beat the 462 points. No, that ain't going to happen. But the single season records, those can happen. See, Jackson had 13 games before the Heisman Trophy celebration. Those 13 games, they are really playing against inferior talent. Every single game they should be favored by, including the first one. It's a FBS game in name only. It's ULM. If Mr. Mulligan, if Irv Mulligan and Jackson State get 200 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns that game, he will, one, break Walter Payton's school record. I think it was 167, 169 in the game that he had. But on top of that, it will set in motion what's going to happen the rest of the year. With Jackson State's online presence, if Mr. Mulligan starts off with 3 touchdowns in week 1 and a win, and finishes off the rest of the year getting 2 touchdowns a game, he will break Walter Payton's all-time single-season scoring record of 164. Let that sink in. He will break the all-time rushing points record for Walter Payton in a year. If Mr. Mulligan does that and gets himself into that 2,200-yard plus crowd, there is no way, I mean no way in God's green earth, he is not going to be invited to a Heisman Trophy celebration. If Mr. Mulligan would have did the ultimate goal. As a running back, put your name in the record books. Put your idols behind you. But the great ones put their idols behind them. But yeah, you may idolize Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders. But Barry and Emmett idolize Walter Payton. If you put that name behind you, it's a bullet, it's a rocket tied to you. And you, my friend, will not only be on the Heisman watch list, you will be going in the first through the third rounds. That's a whole different discussion. What do y'all think? If Mr. Mulligan takes a year and knocks out a bunch of Walter Payton single season records, do you think he'll get a chance to be invited to the room at the Heisman Trophy show? Or is it just going to be Power 5 and nobody at all? My name is Coach Simmons. Now I will see y'all on July 4th. Take a little hiatus right now. When I come back, coming back hard. But my man, Mr. Mulligan.
Give Mr. Mulligan the damn